open borders and the lowering of wages because of a huge influx of indigent workers.
Oh, but no, my dear sister, you ask the workers at Walmart, who are of all colors. So we're talking about humanity. We're talking about Americans across race at this point. You ask the workers at Walmart whether they will be able to live a life of more decency under a Sanders administration as opposed to a Trump administration. He was just there in Arkansas, standing with the workers, McDonald workers too. He stands with working people and poor people. That's his connection to Martin King. That's his connection to FDR. That's his connection to Fannie Lou Hamer. And so, my dear sister Candace, I would argue that welfare again now was not socialist. It was an attempt to intervene given the failure of capitalism to provide jobs of a living wage for people. It was not socialistic at all.
It was absolutely socialist, and you know that. And you know that our community, after the first 100 years, doctor, come on.
That's not
the 100
socialist.
years after slavery, the black community was doing better. We were going up, up, up. Then suddenly they socialized our community via welfare policies, and the black community started going down, down, down. And you're sitting here supporting a candidate that is advocating for making that on a larger scale. He's saying, we're not just going to do it to the black community. We're going to do it to every community in America. Well, you know his policies do not work. You know that socialism has led to more deaths than anything else in the last 100 years. 100 million deaths, and you stand behind this man. You should not. You need to stand behind Trump because he is getting standing next to poor people and making poor people richer are two different things.
All right, let's get
the very fact that you have been able to aspire and achieve the level that you have based on the struggle of those who came before, from W.B. Du Bois, from Ida B. Wells to Frederick Douglass, they were not concerned with isms. They were concerned with justice and fairness. Now, Du Bois was a socialist, but he wasn't pro-welfare. So you got to get your history right, my dear
Douglass,
sister.
We're talking about Bernie Sanders. We don't have to talk about history. We're talking about president. We're talking about Bernie Sanders and what he's offering to the black community, which is awful.
No. When Richard Smalls of South Carolina, when Frederick Douglass called for public
Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakwadash. That's all praises to the Most High in the name of His only begotten Son, and in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honor to the elder apostles of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Much love, greetings, and salutations to you, sincere Akim, of the hopeful elect that are out there pushing His word in sincerity and in truth, are giving all diligence. This is another lesson. Basically, the Spirit got on me to talk about integration and how it led to the downfall of Israel. All right, integration systematically and mentally destroyed you Jakes. All right, when you came over here to America and served hardcore bondage, it was because you were in punishment from the Heavenly Father for breaking His laws, statutes, and commandments. You broke His covenant. All right. So you were brought here to serve punishment, but here in America, you're given the illusion that this was the place of opportunity. This is the place of betterment for your family. You know, this is the place where you're free, but you were just slaves here. And now you don't need to be physically enslaved. Esau, which is a so-called white man, Edom in the Bible, are the same man who oppressed you and enslaved you. He has you in mental chains. He has you in mental captivity. All right. Now, everything you do is centered around his involvement and you depending upon the so-called white man and his system. I mean, yes, that's part of the curse, that we will have to go to our enemies for the one of all things, and that the Lord will basically take away the might out of our hands. You know, that our fruit, you know, our baskets would be cursed. You know, cursed shall we be going and coming. So we can't help that. But when you integrate it with the so-called white man, it systematically destroyed you. And you deteriorated as a people ever since. Because when you integrate with the devil, that could only backfire. There's no productivity. There's nothing profitable of you getting together with your arch enemy and putting your trust in him. But that's what happened. Okay? Well, you got to remember, as an Israelite, the Lord from the beginning told us that we were to be a holy people, which means to be separate and sanctified. Evidently, our people, that's the last thing that they would even believe, is that they're separated and actually special and above these other people. That's why the very first question that they have when they come to a group of Israelite brothers that's out there teaching the scriptures, they always got to say, well, what about everybody? Or the first person, of course, that they always have in mind is, what about the so-called white man? Where is he? And then they like to quote John 3:16, or you know, Romans was at 10 and 12, the Jew and the Greek, to try to save their oppressor, not realizing that he's the one that installed all these different ideologies in your head. The same principles and ideologies that destroyed you, that basically further divided you from your higher power, man. All right. So we were never supposed to come together with these devils. All right. We were supposed to be holy and separate as a nation. But because we came together with them after they put a foot knee deep up in your ass, now you just the biggest dysfunctional, cursed group of people in the world. And I'm gonna show that in this lesson, man. All right. Now you know, post-production, you will have seen this clip here that actually speaking 5 facts on the deterioration of Jake. All right. Systematically, economically, morally, you're gonna see that, man. The decline in Jake and their family structure when they came together with the so-called white man post integration during the time of the civil rights movement that led to other movements, all right, which contributed to this the integration of Jake with their enemy. And because of this video that I'm getting ready to that I'm doing, you know, this is one of the reasons why they'll have us listed on the Southern Poverty Law Center as a black nationalist group. Well, I'm not a black nationalist because I don't identify as the term black. Black is a stigma that you placed upon us in captivity. All right. And you want to attach that label to us and stick it to us. And that's also psychological because we wasn't calling ourselves black before we got together with you. All right. But because we took on your education, you told us that we were black. So now Jake and our people embraces that term without really looking in to the meaning of what it means to be black. You know, looking up the dictionary and what it says defining the term black. Our people are mentally they're destroyed, man. But that's what was this. It tells you that in let me get that. All right, let me let the word speak now. All right, this is Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Yeah, you destroyed for your ignorance. Okay, and basically embracing black as part of that ignorance. For your mind to be blackened, that means that you're ignorant. You're in darkness. Okay. It says, "Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children." All right, and you know, you've come throughout the years to basically not acknowledge the old paths, the ways of your forefathers. You're new age, you're modernized, you're westernized. You have the mind of the European, the so-called white man now. All right? You despise the laws of the Most High, and that's why the Lord cursed you, and that's why you living in these dysfunctional, cursed, impoverished conditions, man. Or the Lord rejected you because you reject him. You don't want to seek his ways. You want to get together with your enemy instead of stay separate and seeking your Lord, your higher power, man. All right? It says, "As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame." And you Jakes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, your glory is really in your shame. All right, the world looks at you and they say, "Oh, well, you're the greatest thugs, you're the greatest, you know, entertainers." You know, one thing they could depend on from you, Jakes, is you can give them a good show. You can entertain them, you know, or you could be a hell of a worker, a slave, Because that's all you are in the society to the so-called white man and even these other nations, man. You're just a slave, man. All right? You're just another, human resource, man. But anyway, going back to the topic at hand, dealing with integration. Normally, according to the law of the Most High, we were to always be segregated from these other nations, because the Lord created us to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. And that's Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6. But our people, because they've been conditioned and beaten down by their slave master, they no longer believe that. They don't have that sentiment. They believe it's either we're equal or the white man is above us. Okay? That's their mentality. They don't have a ruling class mentality. It used to be a point in time when we ruled over everybody. That was the relationship between Israel and other nations, was the relationship between servants and masters, man. And guess what? We wasn't always the servant. We ruled. Under King David, everybody was tributaries to Israel. All right? But now everything is flipped because the Lord cursed us, because we sinned. And to this day, we still sin. But we sin following after our oppressor, man, learning his ways. And that's why the scriptures tell you that, man. Proverbs 3 and 31. When you integrated with them, you're going to learn what they do. You're going to be just like the people that you're integrating with. You're going to take on their ideas, their culture. Okay? You're going to worship their gods, their idols. That's what happens, man. And Jake always done that throughout the course of time, man. All right, Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. All right, you're not supposed to envy them, nor are you supposed to walk in their paths, man. See, Esau, he's the devil, he's the adversary. Okay, there's not a righteous bone in this man's body. He's the deceiver, he's a liar, he's a pedophile, he's a homosexual. Okay, he's a man of the sword, he's a violent man. And all those traits that's in that devil, it works in you tribes. And that's why you're so destructive, man. All right? You're so self-destructive, mingling among this devil and taking on his vibration. Now you're a bunch of deviants. Now you live licentious. You're a bunch of libertines, man. You feel like you don't have to comply to moral standards. You could just do as you please. And you call that free thinking. Well, that's another philosophy that you learn from the devil. The same man who says, do as thou wilt. All right? And when you have his mentality, you basically don't have the fear of the Most High. All right? Because a person that don't fear the Most High, all they do is evil. All right? Psalms 14 and 1, it says, the fool have said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. All right, a person that don't have the fear of a higher power, man, and they lack morals, well, this is what they do. All right? They're reprobates, so they do anything because they're void of judgment. They'll lay down and sleep with anybody. They have no boundaries. They have no integrity, no virtue. And our people they've took on that characteristic, learning after the so-called white man. Okay? So now you becoming abominable, man. You're an abomination. All right, are women becoming dykes? Are men becoming faggots? Which I'm gonna get to that, man. Okay. So we ain't supposed to choose his ways. All right. Let me get Proverbs 12 and 26. But you trust in him because not only did he install that fear in you when he had you in slavery, all right? But he also seduced you, because the scriptures do say he's wiser than Daniel, but he's wise in wickedness. You go to a school system and you feel very intrigued by the education that he actually pushes on you, and you think that everything has to be a fact after he validates information. Everything has to be validated by him first for it to be substantiated as a fact, man. That's a straight up slave mentality, man. You know? But this is Proverbs 12:26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. All right, and what made us righteous was that the Lord not only chose us, but he gave us laws. The laws was the wisdom in the sight of the nations. They would see the difference in how we lived and how we conducted ourselves by how we govern ourselves with the law. The law is righteous. All right. There would be no homosexuality among us. The families would be close knit, tighter. The family structure would be tight. There would be not a lot of divorce. Okay. There would be no out of wedlock children. But after integration, what you're going to see, it changed. All right. After you took in the seed of that damn serpent, man. All right. It says, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. All right. And just like the serpent beguiled Eve, it seduced her. Our nation had been basically beguiled by Esau. And that's why they're doing after him. And this all goes back to the garden, man. It all started way back then. All right. So let's go back. Let's go to the law now. Let's go to the commandments. All right. And I'm going to bring some scriptures and then I'm going to bring some visuals. So you see, like, basically during a certain time frame, you see the transition in the fall of Jake when they started to integrate with the so-called white man. All right, this is going back to the law. Exodus 34:12. It says, "Take heed to thyself, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land whither thou goest." And what is a covenant? A covenant is basically an agreement. All right. It's from the Hebrew word bareyath, and it means a covenant, an alliance, pledge, all right, treaty, a league, a constitution, ordinance, agreement, pledge, alliance, a friendship. So we ain't supposed to be friends of the world, but our people, that's, especially the so-called black woman, man, she wants to be friends with everybody, especially the so-called white people, man. All right. Every time I see a crowd of Edomites, it's no shocker when you see a so-called black woman with bull rings hanging from her nose, hanging around with a pack of Edomites, man. And she's trying to talk like them. What they call them, Oreo cookies, man. A white girl trapped in a so-called Negro woman's body. They put on that Valley accent. Try to act all, and have the appearance of the Eurocentric look. Our women blonde, making their hair blonde, bleaching their skin. We ain't supposed to fit in with none of these people. We're supposed to be separate, man. We're greater than these people, man. All right. It says alliance of marriage. All right. And that's, when you get married and y'all sign that certificate, y'all make that agreement with the state. You just made an alliance of marriage with a heathen. And that's forbidden in the law, man. Okay. We ain't supposed to make no covenants with them. Okay. So going back, and even in his ministry, you ain't supposed to be signing paperwork with the devil. Look what's happening to Comfy now because he did a deal with the devil, man. That's what that nigga get. And the rest of you guys that did work you know, you done made contracts with Esau, man. It's only for so long that you're gonna get found out too, and Esau's gonna come down on your ass as well. All right, we ain't supposed to have no agreements, man. No confederacy in no way, shape, or form, man. All right, we were brought here to serve captivity, and you work for this devil because you have to. Then that's, you know, that's how you survive, man. All right, or if you can, you know, we under the curse, man. Even if you try to work for yourself, you start your own business, you still gotta kind of, you know, use him. But that's what you do. You use him, okay? But anyway, this is but you know, and but don't, you know, you don't use it to become solely dependent upon this devil, man. Where he's all in your business, and you know he can watch your transactions, you know, and basically you give him power over you. Okay, he can crack down on you whenever he sees right to, man. All right, but anyway, this is verse 13. But you shall destroy their altars, break their images, cut down their groves. For thou shalt worship no other God, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous power. All right, and that was another reason why we have to stay separate. And if we went into a land, we're supposed to get rid of them. All right, basically that's what we did when we got the land of Canaan. We took out all those filthy Canaanites, and they were known for you know, child sacrifice, you know, witchcraft, incest. You know, they was into all that. If we didn't, if we didn't want to get entangled in those ways, we had to basically get rid of them and form no alliances with them, or else we was gonna pick up on that. And Jake, that's all Jake do is pick up on the ways of the other nations, man. They get married with them, and they take on their culture. All right. But the Most High is jealous, and when the Lord see you doing that, that's why He jacks you niggas up. All right. Verse 15: Lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a whoring after their gods, and do sacrifice unto their gods, and one call thee, and thou eat of his sacrifice, and thou take of their daughters unto thy sons, and their daughters go a whoring after their gods, and make thy sons go a whoring after their gods. And that's usually what it leads to, man. All right, you marrying the gook woman, now all of a sudden you a damn Buddhist, you know? Or you marry a Arab woman, all of a sudden you speak Arabic, and now you worship Allah. You face the east. You know, you pray 5 times a day. You wear the damn kufi on your head. You know, you lose your damn mind, man. Going completely away from the Heavenly Father. All right. Well, this is what happens during integration. All right. Now, you men, you were allowed to have women of the other nations under only one condition: keeping her as a damn sex toy, man, a concubine. She was nothing more, nothing less. All right. You was never supposed to marry these women of these other nations, and you women, same thing. You so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American women, you weren't supposed to be marrying with these other nations, but that's all you do, and that's heavily promoted here in Babylon. That's why this is called the melting pot. All right, this is just all nations. There's nothing but confusion here, man. All right, Babylon is a land of confusion. That's what the word Babel means. All right, the Lord created nations and He separated them. Okay, He made their ways diverse. He confounded their language, going back to the Tower of Babel. He did that for a purpose. But He did it and separated you tribes, all right, and chose you to be His portion. This is Sirach 17 and 17. It says, "For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, He set a ruler over every people, but Israel is the Lord's portion." Okay, you're the Lord's portion, man. He chose you. All right, let me jump from there to Sirach 33 real quick. Sirach 33, verse 10. It says, "And all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. In much knowledge the Lord have divided them and made their ways diverse." All right. So the Lord, he's the one that created nations. But guess what? The Lord is he's a nationalist. He's an Israelite nationalist. And that's what we are too. As long as we claim our heritage, we claim who we are the same heritage that we lost when we was in slavery. And that tells you that in Jeremiah 17:9 that we would discontinue from our heritage, man. You know, that we would serve our enemies in a strange land. Okay. But in this same captivity, this is where we're remembering ourselves. We're remembering who we are. We call into mind the blessings and the curses of the Lord. Now it's time for us to come back to a reality, man. You're the Lord's chosen. Come from out of the ways of this place of darkness, man. Because all its ways that you've brought upon yourself, it only led you to death. Okay? Degeneracy, deterioration. All right? Ever since you mingled with these devils, you become a strange people to the Lord, man. All right? Jeremiah, was that 2 and 21? Yeah, Jeremiah 2 and 21. "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" All right, you become estranged to your power, your maker, man. All right, and that's why it's people in the world would they would find it very comical, or it would be far-fetched to believe that the Negro, Latino, and Native American in the ghetto is the Lord's chosen people, because look at look at where they at. Okay, the homicide rates, the drug abuse, the single parent homes. Okay, barely any marriage, very dysfunctional. We're very evil to ourselves, man. Look at the music. The music is no longer music. It's just demonic enchantment, man. Placing immoral, unrighteous ideas in your head, man. Go fuck this dude's girl. Go pop this pill or do this drug. Go and kill these niggas off. Go flaunt this money, get this money by any means necessary. Those are the messages that's in your music. You don't even tell stories no more. You don't even talk about your struggle. At least we have substance in our music, going back, in the early, back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even the early 2000s. But it started to deteriorate. It started to fade, man. Once you allowed them devils to come in and infiltrate the industry, they took that over, man. Now everything is worse because you let the devil come in. The scriptures tell you, man, why trimmest thy way to seek love? You accept everybody, man. And when you allow these devils to come in and be a part of what you a part of and what you do, he corrupts it and makes it worse. That's what he did with the music industry, man. So now you niggas don't have messages for your people no more. You don't, you very PC, And then it's Kanye West guy. I mean, he's the latest example of what happened to Jake, man. Totally gone. All right. So, we gotta come back to the Most High, man. We gotta come back to being a holy nation. And the Lord he's starting that process, starting with his men, his elect, man. All right. Israel, they're going to die within the Babylonian way. They're going to die, accepting their enemy. All right. So going back to the law, all right, let's get another scripture real quick. This is Leviticus 20:7. It says, sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your power. All right. And what it means to be holy, it means to be sanctified. It means to be separate. All right. A saint. All right. Sacred, holy, holy one, saint, set apart. All right. And what separated us was we didn't do what the other nations did. All right. It wasn't men and female equality. It wasn't homosexuality. Okay. All the things that this world thrives on now, that we wasn't set upon that, man. We were separate. But now we all in together now. Now look at everything, man. Fucked up. Especially for you tribes, man. At least with these other nations, they have their own sovereignty and they still can hold on to their own cultures, man. All right. Their divorce rates is not like the Israelite, the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans divorce rate. All right. They're not as dysfunctional. They're still family oriented. What about you tribes? Mainly Judah. It says, sanctify yourselves, therefore, and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your power. Okay? Be separate from this world, man. All right? This is Leviticus 20:26, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord. I, the Lord, or Yahweh, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that you should be mine. But right now, it's like you're no different than everybody else. And it's all become destructive for you, man. Okay, you more fagged out than everybody. Our women are the most promiscuous. They slutted themselves out. Very because in slavery, our women had decency. They were modest. They had a little humility. They know how to be wives, but after integration, they learn to become licentious. Therefore, now they're very promiscuous. Okay, they have the rights now to be sexually liberated. They can hop from relationship to relationship. Just whore it out now, man. They can't help but step outside the house looking like a damn back page hoe. You can't even tell the difference, man. Because that's the natural standard of dress with our women. Following after these other women, man, especially the white women. Because she's a slut bag. She's perverse. She'll sleep with a dog, man. She'll sleep with animals. We supposed to be separated from that, man. All right. See, our women, they were in slavery. They were forced to do sexual acts. They were raped. But now they willfully go out and be a damn whore. Be adulteresses. And then you men, you had some type of restraint. But now look at you. Okay, you are a damn buck for the white man and the white woman. All right. This is what happens, man. All right, let me get another scripture, and then I'm gonna go into some photos just to show you some visuals, man. All right, this is Psalms 106:35. It says, "But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works." Okay, and that's always been a recycle of history with Israel. When we were enslaved under the Egyptians, We learned Egyptian worshiping Egyptian idols. When we were enslaved by the Babylonians, we took on the Babylonian worships. And all those worships, we still do it to this very day. When you celebrating Christmas, when you celebrating Mother's Day, Easter, these pagan holidays, all right, you're still doing that. Oh, when you take on this plantation Christianity that you also learned under your slave master, when he took your book and manipulated it for his benefit and taught you white supremacy along with his ideology, he basically taught you to worship Satan with the Bible, man. How in the hell that happened, man? He took the book of the Lord and made you worship Satan with it. Because the way you worship is not the way that the Lord tells you to worship. Worshiping the sun on Sunday, that's really Satan worship, man. Teaching a virgin birth, teaching the pagan trinity that goes back to ancient Babylon. You know, amalgamating those pagan ideas that came from those ancient Hamites, and you bring it mingled with the gospel, man. That's what the slave master did to you. And now you just hard bent. You know, you guys form coalitions to actually defend plantation Christianity. You got a group called the Shield Squad. That's what they do. You know, a bunch of lost jakes trying to defend the gospel of their slave master, man. Not the gospel of the Most High. Even though they'll try to use the words of the Most High. All right, this is what they learned from the devil, man. All right, so that's why we were never supposed to come together. This is why. Okay, so let's get some visuals. All right, because back before, you know, when we were a family, the 1950s and prior to that. All right, this is a symbol of the unity of Jake, man, a Jake family. Marriage between a Negro man and a Negro woman, man. Judah with Judah. All right, that was commonly seen back then. Okay. A black family, a so-called black family, an Israelite family. Okay. Jake at the dinner table with his wife and his children. And this was this was of value in our nation. All right, but Jake no longer values that. Now it's about, Jake is a bunch of bachelors or women. They're a bunch of just, watch that show. I forgot what it was called, man, on Netflix. All right, where basically that what was the name of that show, man? She's got to have it. All right, and that shows you what a lot of these Americanized Western women are about, man. They ain't concerned with having a family and to come up under the pillar of a strong, decent, so-called black man. All right, she's about her career and about her goals in life. Meanwhile, she got to raise all those kids by herself. After the white man told her that she can do what she want to do, she can, she could be equal with the man. She can sleep around. She could do what she want with her body. She can have all the kids she want because the government is going to take care of her. But back then, we didn't need a helping hand with this damn devil. We had it. All right, Jake went out and he worked and his wages was sufficient enough to actually raise a home. Okay, whether it was working class, middle class, however the case may be, according to his skill. If his skill, the job that he works, he has a skill to work a job that's able to bring him to a higher class, then Jake, he did that. All right. So this is missing. This is very small among Jake now, man. But I mean, now, with Israel on the rise, uh, it's coming back. All right, but only within Israel. The rest of Jake in the world, you really don't see much of this going on. Everything is separated, man. But that was because of what? That was after integration. All right, during these times, it was still segregation. You had Jim Crow's laws going on in the South, which, hey, Esau was just being a separatist, man. He believed his nation was supposed to be with his nation, and their enemy is supposed to stay within their territory, so to speak. All right, you niggas stay amongst yourselves, and we gonna stay with us. But Jake wanted that equality, I want to drink out of your fountain. I want to use your restrooms. Yeah, Esau had it better. He always had better quality. Even to this day, he has better quality than Jake. That's because we're under the curse. Okay, Esau, it's meant for him to rule. He's in rulership right now. But the Lord's gonna change that. When we get in the kingdom, we're gonna be back over this devil, and we're gonna live way better than this devil ever lived, man. Trust and believe. All right, so let me get to the next visual. All right, what you see? An Israelite family, a Jake family, man, Judah. All right, you don't see a lot of this often anymore, man. Too much dysfunction, man. Too much drama. All right, the men they didn't lost their sense of masculinity, being men, being responsible, and the women, they're told that they're equal with us or even better than us. Feminism, which I'm gonna get to that. When they learned that, it all went downhill. She thinks she could do it on her own now. All right. So, but this is what you had back when we were still stronger. Okay. Family. Now, what do we have? Ever since integration, you got terror babies. All right. Confusion. All right. The black woman with her self-hatred, she looks down. A woman like this, she looks down on her counterpart, and she highly exalts and worships the so-called white man. Allow this devil to put his seed in her. All right. She want her children to have recessive genes. All right. She wants her children to have lesser kinky hair, less thicker hair. She wants that thin hair, lighter skin for her children. Okay. This is what happened. All right. And when you breed out, when we allow our women to breed out, that further destroys our nation, man. Because now you're bringing in the seed for him. He's producing, If you was to take seed from your counterpart, you still be producing for your nation, but you're producing for his nation. All right. The devil, sowing his seed and springing up tares, and that's what you see. It's a lot of confusion out there, man. And you know what the scriptures say about what he's going to do to those tares, man. They're going to get burnt up. All right. These two Edomites, these two melanized Edomites, they ain't going to make it with their father. Okay. And she's going to be destroyed for joining with the devil, man. Making an agreement with him. All right. And the same thing apply with you men, the men of our nation, man. All right. It's one thing to pop her and have her as your concubine or a mistress, but you having children with them and mingling with them and taking on their philosophy, man. You start to become like the dude in that song, Straight Stay True to the Game with Ice Cube. You ain't gonna make it, man. All right. And usually you're the type of dude that'll come against us when we out there teaching concerning salvation. You'll try to defend your oppressor. You'll defend Becky. All right. You believe in his, and you will believe in his system. You believe in the American, so-called American dream. All right, you'll fight in his military. You know, these are those type of niggas, man. You believe in his education. You know, and then integration led to this. All right, and this is totally a seed of the serpent, man. Okay, she wants equality, but the scriptures tell you, this is Genesis 3:16, to show you that there is no equality. All right, Genesis 3:16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception in sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee, meaning he should take charge. Okay, he's supposed to dominate. You're supposed to submit. But with this poisonous ideology of feminism, this is what our women learned. And now, because of this attitude, look where it led our women, to this shit. Where's the father at? All these kids, where the daddy at? He ain't there. You see how these different ideas cause you to self-destruct, man? Learning the ways of your oppressor. You deteriorate, man. You don't even realize it. You ruining yourself taking on the so-called white man philosophies, man. Broken homes, man. All right? Look at that. You see this, but then you go back and you see this. That's the difference. This is pre-integration, and this and this and this is post-integration. All right? Truly declined, man, as a people. All right? Another one. Look at this, man. This is what happened after. After you joined league with the devil, and he told you that you was equal, and that you should start standing up for yourself and demanding more rights and all this other shit, which you were never oppressed, man. Listen to the music from back then in the 60s, man. All those tunes was about love and basically the so-called black man simping, you know, his you know, the black woman, you know, all those Motown classical, you know, classic songs was about men, you know, their love for their woman. Look at that, man. Poverty. You thinking that you can do it on your own because he gave you the illusion that you could do it on your own. Look what happened, man. But when you was with your man, you had a family, you had a household, and you didn't have to depend on Esau. All you had to do was make sure your man was fed when he come home from work. And then with this, what did that lead to? This shit. All right. The streets end up raising Jake. Okay. Poor education system. So now they just, you know, out in the streets, getting into mischief, very impulsive acting, very emotional because they learned from you. Okay. And this is what this is what you're raising now. All right. If you ain't producing this, then you're producing these niggas. Okay? Destroyed. Destroyed, man. All right? Destroyed, man. Destroyed. Look, destroyed. And all this that I'm bringing up, I'm showing you Judah because they're the head tribe, so the curses hit them the hardest. But this all this applies to you Latinos and Native Americans too. All right, you all have become destroyed coming together with your enemy, man. Okay, this is why we were never supposed to come together with them. And not to say that we wasn't doing this in the past as well, before we came together, because Israel always was wicked. You know, we was doing this even going back to the Greek, the Greco-Roman Empire. Our men were being fagged out, and our women were being a bunch of lesbians, man. But guess what? Who was ruling over them? Who were they mingled with? Those damn Romans, those Edomites. All right, they were under an immoral empire, a very degenerate, depraved nation. All right. So that's what happened to us. We became a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto the Lord. We're supposed to be wholly separate, man. You know. So going back, you know, Leviticus 20:7, sanctify yourselves therefore and be ye holy, for I am the Lord your God. Okay, He's holy. We are to be holy too. We're supposed to be separated from these people. You see what happened? What led to your downfall, man? Okay, and learn from this, man. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I hope this was an edifying lesson. It was kind of lengthy, but I kind of had to, bring these visuals out, man. Okay, and then in the kingdom, we're gonna go back to being nations, man. Ain't gonna be no more confusion, all right? The Lord's gonna gather us from all the nations where He scattered us, and He's gonna put us in our land. We're gonna be a nation of kings and priests, man. All right, our women, they're gonna be wives. They're gonna be princesses again. Okay, no more of the curse. All right, so with that, I'm going to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Till next time, Shalom.